History, world champions year after year, and the tradition continues with Tatmianinan Marinin. They train in the United States, but the Russian legacy continues to flourish. Chinese pair skating has a short history. It started 4 years ago. Shen and Zhao won their first ever Worlds medal for their country, and tonight they go for their fifth. It could be gold. It's day 3 at the Worlds. It's next on TSN. Top of the evening, welcome everyone to the World Figure Skating Championships in the United States capital, Washington, D.C. It is day 3 at the World Championships. Dave Randorf has the night off tonight, a hockey assignment. I'm Rod Black. Welcome to our coverage, where tonight we have the pairs free skate, and also we have the women's qualifier from earlier today. Let's tell you about last night, though, and all of the events this week that have been leading up to some of the stuff going on the ice. Of course, we've had a lot of controversy away from the ice, some questionable judging once again, but there was a real buzz in this building last night, particularly with Russian Evgeny Plushenko, the leader after the short program for the men. He was the leader in his qualifying group. He is the man to beat here. We talked in the opening about the Russian dynasty in pairs skating. Well, it has been a Russian dynasty in men's skating, too, over the last few years. No Alexei Yagutin here this year because of injury. Plushenko is now the top contender, and he is on top after the short program. The men's free skate is tomorrow night. For Canada, Jeffrey Buttle, trying to put a quad into his program this year, has landed it once, could not land it last night in the short program. Still a pretty strong performance. Here is his axle near the end of his program. He was elated with his short program, and he finished in 9th place overall, was 8th at last year's Worlds, his first. Emmanuel Sandou missed last year's World Championship because of injury. Has come in here with a real focus. Unfortunately, the quad wasn't working last night, and he may have had the disadvantage of skating earlier in the evening. The axle was all right. He was all right, but he actually finished behind Buttle in 10th place. Here's how it stands after the short program. Evgeny Plushenko, Tim Gable of the United States, Takeshi Honda in 3rd place. Michael Weiss inexplicably fell on his easiest jump late in the program, and he's fallen out of contention for a gold medal. He was so confident he was going to win the World Championship this week that he already rented a celebratory limousine on Thursday night. Well, they can cancel the limousine, Tracy Wilson. It's going to be very difficult for Michael Weiss to do that. But let's talk about the women's qualifier right now and first steps for a lot of skaters. Everybody this week, we talked about Weiss and the men, the United States men, skating on home ice. For the women, there's a chance here for a sweep.
There is a chance. It's possible, but not probable. I have to give the edge to American Michelle Kwan, coming in off a terrific performance off the U.S. Nationals, and she is the experienced competitor. But right behind Michelle Kwan is Sasha Cohen. She lit up the Grand Prix circuit this season, winning the Grand Prix final, and she is a feisty competitor. No question, she'll go all out. The one we don't know about, though, is Sarah Hughes. She did not compete on the Grand Prix circuit. She looked very shaky in practice at the U.S. Nationals. She was able, though, to put it down in the competition and finished with a silver medal. She has come in here not looking at her best, but perhaps this audience might spur her on and bring the best out of her. She's a great competitor. But all the American ladies are going to have to deal with Fumie Suguri of Japan, Victoria Volchkova of Russia. It's not going to be easy.
Let's talk about the Canadians now. Jennifer Robinson, 6-time national champion at another World Championship, maybe more confident than she ever has been. And Joannie Rochette at her first Worlds.
Well, Jennifer Robinson is hoping for a top 5 here, and and she's got a good crack at it because she has drawn the favorable group for the qualifying, the easier group. She is going to have to deliver, but if she puts out her best, she could wind up in the final flight for the short program. Very important for her. Joannie Rochette, on the other hand, has drawn the group with the American ladies, and she'll be skating right after Michelle Kwan, so she's going to have her hands full. This is all about experience for Joannie, and hey, she couldn't be skating next to a better skater to learn from.
Well, it's also all about setting yourself up for the next portion of the week, and the qualifier only worth 20%, but it sets you up for the short program, then sets you up for the free skate where you might have a shot at a medal or a personal best. For Jennifer Robinson, her mission here is a top 5 at the Worlds. Coming up, the 6-time national champion of Canada, another world championship for her, and the debut of Joannie Rochette at the Worlds.
Well, hard to believe that Michelle Kwan, Sarah Hughes, and Sasha Cohen are actually in the same qualifier, but that might make it a little easier for Jennifer Robinson in Pool B with the 3 Americans on that side. So now to Pool A and the qualifier. First Worlds for 17-year-old Joannie Rochette.
Getting last-minute words of encouragement from her coach, Manon Perron, and what a position she's in. She was just on the ice warming up with Michelle Kwan and Sarah Hughes, so she's really going to have to control the butterflies and show this international panel of judges just what she's capable of. You can see her opening pose, her shoulders are a little bit high.
Again, the qualifier worth 20% of the final mark.
Opening jump, a triple loop. Nice start. Joannie missed a lot of training time this season. She was out with an injury. We saw her at the Canadian Championships, and she struggled with the triple lutz. It's an important jump for Joannie, and it's coming up here. A little slow on the takeoff. Didn't pop it into the air. Triple flip, double toe, good air position, nice control on her landing. Jump series coming up. Triple toe, half loop. Triple Salchow, fall on the second jump. You mentioned that she's in a difficult qualifying group, and it's very important now that she gets her composure here. She's got a minute to breathe and refocus. Every jump so important. Another chance, at a triple flip. There, she just didn't stay tight on the landing. She let the landing get away from her, so will not get full credit for that jump. And a triple Salchow turn to a double. Her choreography is excellent. taking this piece of music and getting into it, using it very well.
First World Championship, Joannie Rochette of Canada. A couple of miscues might be expected when you make your first trip here, and again, an injury-plagued season.
I thought she handled her nerves quite well. When you look at the big picture and the warm-up group she was on, First World Championships, as you said, and her inexperience showed in some sloppy landings, but overall, a nice start for Joannie Rochette of Canada.
And the formidable Americans straight ahead.
The Four Continents Championship, many people in the Canadian skating circle feel that Joannie Rochette is the next one. Jennifer Robinson, of course, still to skate here, the six-time champion.
She's got a lot of talent and can jump, as you can see that in the triple flip. The jump that gives Joannie problems is the triple lut. Her coaches were not happy with her technique, so they went back to the drawing board. She's relearned the jump. Watch this here as she picks in. Her upper body starts rotating too soon. She doesn't get up in the air as a unit and rotate quickly enough to complete the rotation. She just has to trust that back edge going into the jump. I've watched her do it in practice. It's improved greatly since last year, and now she's just got to get it out on the competition ice. A beautiful spinner. You can see this position in the camel spin, pushing over to a forward outside edge. Lovely position. I like her musicality. I think she brings this piece of music to life. Unfortunately, though, those little glitches in a tough group like this, they will bury a skater. Each jump you kind of futz the landing on puts two skaters ahead of you. She's up against the likes of Michelle Kwan, who's next, Sarah Hughes, Sasha Cohen, as you mentioned in this group, and a number of fine skaters. So what Joannie just has to do is kind of tighten up and nail those jumps through the program.
You know, the judges have to judge it, but they're also saving those marks for Kwan, Hughes, and Sasha Cohen. They know what those packages include. They may not know Joannie Rochette, and so that is even more important that you land your jumps. 4-2 to 5-0.
The other thing I've been noticing with these judges is they're rewarding the jumps much more than the artistry, the spins, the musicality. It seems for them they're looking for how many jumps you completed, and that was the one weakness in Joannie's program. She let that triple flip get away from her at the end. She could have had it and turned a triple to a double. Those two jumps would have been good for 4 or 5 placements, and they're definitely within her capability.
7 of 10 marks are used on the computer, and again, we do not know which judge gives which mark. We do not know the nationalities of those judges, and that has been a real sticking point throughout the season in this interim system. And one thing that is undeniable, the talent in the body of Michelle Kwan, 7-time U.S. national champion, 4-time world champion, Olympic silver medalist. She has never won Olympic gold, and maybe that's the reason she's staying in. She's only 22 years old. It is possible she could skate at the next Olympics.
Triple loop to open Michelle's program. You can just see from her expression, the way she's carrying herself, she is confident. Triple Lutz, her most difficult jump. She handled that with ease. perfect landings on her jumps. You can see she's just straight up and down in the air and lands easily. Good flow on the landings. Great energy to this performance. Choreography by Nikolai Morozov. Works with Shaylin and Victor, Alexei Yagudin. It's not just about the jumps, the highlights, the spirals is important. Planning a triple combination, triple toe. Kept rotating on the landing, couldn't do the second jump, and that's the one thing that has eluded Michelle Kwan in her career, consistent triple combination. Right back on form with the triple lung.
One of the most loved athletes in all the United States, Michelle Kwan. There are only two things that draw the biggest crowds in the USA in the month of March: college basketball and women's figure skating, because they are a powerhouse. And Michelle Kwan leads the way right now. We'll have her marks. And Sasha Cohen and Sarah Hughes still ahead from the Worlds in Washington.
Really confirmed for this Olympic cycle whether she will skate in Italy in 2006. What do you think?
Well, the way she's skating, why wouldn't she? She looks very well trained, great composure in this program. Here's a look at her triple lutz and watch her position on the landing. Just in perfect position. Straight back, good flow, double toe for her second jump. But the one thing she's going to need if she is to continue are triple combinations. There's the first jump. Her left shoulder keeps rotating. She's back on her heel, so there's no way she can get the necessary momentum to do the second triple jump, and that is something that Sarah Hughes is going to need, especially the way the judges have been judging. They're rewarding technical difficulty first. One of the finer moments in Michelle's program, the footwork, and you can see from the feet right up through the arms, the upper body, right into it, expressing her music to the fullest. I like the choreography in this program. And she pays attention to everything, the spins, the spirals, the footwork, as important as the jumps, which I think they are. It's a whole performance. It's not just tumbling passes or tricks.
Sarah Hughes is next. And then Sasha Cohen, the nemesis for Michelle Kwan, has been other American teenage skaters, whether it was Tara Lipinski and now the Sasha Cohen story. Arina Slitskaya last year was her rival and won the world title. Slitskaya not here. Good marks, technical merit, Tracy. 5.7s, 5.8s.
They're leaving lots of room, though, 5.7s. There's her coach, Scott Williams. Remember, last year, Michelle arrived to the competitions without a coach. They've been working together this year. A few 5.9s for presentation, some big skaters still to come, so the judges have to leave some room.
And one of Those American teenage skaters we talked about who became Olympic champion really out of nowhere in Salt Lake City. Everyone focusing on the other skaters, and Sarah Hughes captured the gold medal, but it has not been an easy season by any stretch for Sarah Hughes.
As Sarah has said, she's had many highs, but those highs have been accompanied by many lows. She's uncertain as to what she wants to do. She's been accepted into Harvard and other top universities in the United States, and really mixed as to does she want to skate or go to school or both. Double axel into a triple toe. Nice start. Coming up, one of her better jumps, a triple salchow, but she was having a tough time on the warm-up with this jump. And trouble there, triple to a single.
Interesting to note that Sarah Hughes is the only women's Olympic gold medalist since 1988 in Katarina Witt that did not retire immediately after winning Olympic gold.
She said she had so many wonderful opportunities this year, but unfortunately they took her out of the training rink, and that is what has hurt her most this year. The day-to-day grind and the training. Well, she's fighting for the landings on the jump. She doesn't have the ease to her skating this year that she had last year. Quite cautious now, approaching her triple flip. She's just not comfortable on her skates. She's really fighting for the positions and to regain her balance. Difficult group. She needs all her triples. Her final jump, a triple toe, and an easy triple jump for Sarah, and turn to a single. This is a heartbreaking performance to see her struggle this way.
1 year removed from the Winter Olympics and being a gold medalist and skating nothing like the Olympic champion. Goes to show you, it's one thing to get to the top of the mountain, it's another thing to stay there. Difficult season continues in the wake of Olympic gold for Sarah Hughes. You saw her coach, Robin Wagner, who says that great moments come from breakthroughs and training. It's all sweat and tears and hard work. And if you're not going to put in full effort, full season, why continue? So they have to really think about the future here, what they're going to do, and whether Sarah Hughes wants to commit to skating or commit to college.
That hunger factor is so important. Day in, day out, you have to be in that rink. And what Sarah's been doing, and she's had the opportunity to do, you don't want to miss presenting a Grammy and some of these great opportunities she's had, but it's taken her out of the training rink, and she's been flying across the country and then coming back and training for a couple of days. Well, if you're to be in top shape in this competition, it's 5 days a week training and 2 days resting and preparing for training. That's all it is. And so that's what we have seen from Sarah Hughes in this performance. The hours just haven't been put there. Was not confident or comfortable in this program. You could see her blade was constantly fighting the ice. Usually when you watch Sarah Hughes' blade travel across the ice, it's smooth and pure and effortless, but it certainly wasn't today. A triple Salchow, an easy jump for Sarah. She just popped on the takeoff, didn't even really get up in the air.
Doesn't look anything like the skater that we saw all of last season, and even in her eyes, the desire. Certainly not confident right now.
And you have to remember, too, Sarah's a teenager, and all that brings with it. Her body has grown. She's grown an inch taller. She's not physically in the condition she was in last year, so that changes your timing in the jumps totally.
Even going to be more disappointing to see the marks come up here, knowing that she was in this group and had to really stay within the top 4. You would think to have a shot at the podium and then have a great short program, but this will do nothing for her confidence. Here come the marks for the elements. Technical merit.
The mark ranging from 4.7 to 5.4.
Wow. 4.7 to 5.4, and 5.4 might be generous.
Robin Wagner is a wonderful coach. She's been there for Sarah through the years, and you can see her watching Sarah with concern and how she's handling these marks and the placement.
Sasha Cohen still to come, and Jennifer Robinson in the other group ahead at the Worlds. Everyone had been talking about this possible sweep by American skaters, but Sarah Hughes may have just taken herself out of the running. Here is someone who will be a contender. You have to think. Sasha Cohen, along with Coach Tatiana Tarasova. Won pretty much everything, Tracy, this season, with the exception of the U.S. Nationals.
She was also beaten at the Cup of Russia by Victoria Volchkova. But for Sasha Cohen, what's key and what her coach Tatiana Tarasova wants her to accomplish in her skating is for her to keep her focus throughout the performance. She's got the goods, a beautiful program, great jumps, but she often loses her focus and will make a nasty mistake, which costs her in the marks.
We saw that happen to Michael Weiss last night in the men's short program on home ice. Let's see what happens to Sasha.
Opening with her triple Lutz. Deep knee bend on the landing, but held on. Her most difficult jump is a triple Lutz, and she does some back-to-back to open the program. Here comes the second one. Triple Lutz, double toe. Triple flip, double toe.
Chinese skaters, Tracy, have been able to come into the senior ranks of skating and be able to captivate a crowd like a Sasha Cohen, maybe a Katarina Witt, or...
She has that kind of presence on the ice. Fiery personality. She's not letting the performance get away from her. Beautiful Ina Bauer. So far, so good. There, the little glitch that we're talking about. Fortunately, though, that was not on a jump, just pushing the back skating too much. Look at this stunning position.
Of Tatiana Tarasova, that footwork. See it with Alexei Yagudin in the men's ranks.
Well, Nikolai Morozov choreographed this as well as Michelle Kwan, so it's interesting to see the two tops with Nikolai. Spins. The speed. Final scratch spin.
Wow. It's a pretty good start for Sasha Cohen.
That's the kind of start she wanted to have. A very minor glitch on some backward crossovers, but other than that, a focused performance. Did not quite have the command of the ice or the sparkle that Michelle Kwan had, but for Sasha Cohen, very important she got the job done with the jump.
And with Arina Slutskaya not here, looks like it could be a real competition between Cohen and Michelle Kwan. Keep in mind, we also have Victoria Volchkova here, who beat Sasha Cohen at the Cup of Russia. What a global game it's become. Russian coaches in the United States and Russian skaters in the United States and Canada. Virtually unheard of 10, 15 years ago.
Her triple Lutz at the beginning. Now, she does get criticized and often deducted from the judges because her outside edge going into the Lutz is not pure. It flips over to the inside edge. Let's take a look here. This, her triple flip. And you can see her wavering on the edge. It's not a clean, easy takeoff.
Sasha Cohen might be, and there's that little stumble we talked about. Fortunately, she stayed on her feet, and again, it wasn't on a jump.
Yeah, she started to get excited, and that's what happens to Sasha. And she gets into the music, and she just wants to go out there and do it, and loses her balance, and it happens to her time and time again. That not as costly as when she does it on a jump.
Talked about Michelle Kwan's plans. If there is maybe a roadblock leading up to Italy. It might be this young woman. She just might become the best skater in the United States if she is not now.
What Sasha's going to have to do, though, is start pushing herself technically. We didn't see any triple-triple combinations from Sasha, and you can see here the marks, 2.55. I don't agree with that at all, because she has some beautiful spins in the moments between her jumps. But nonetheless, if she's to hang on for the Olympic Games to win, she has got to start doing triple-triple combinations.
Keep in mind, she is 18. Look at that.
5.1 here for presentation, and that is outrageous. In fact, that could be a mistake. Maybe the judge was wanting to put in a 5.7. We will never know, because we don't know who that judge is.
Well, a silly, silly system in place right now, criticized by all of the skating world. And if there is a new system, they're going to need it in a hurry, because there are obvious glitches. Sasha Cohen in third place in her qualifying group. Elena Sokolova in second place. Michelle Kwan leader, so she'll be tied for first. Sasha Cohen will be in a tie for fifth heading into the short program, and that could set her back a long way. Joannie Rochette at her first Worlds, 9th in her qualifier. Look at some of the other skaters competing here at the World Championships. And Jennifer Robinson in Group B still to come. Coming up from the 2003 World Figure Skating Championships, more from the women's qualification on day 3. Since last year in Salt Lake City, and normally on this panel there are 10 judges, but there is a seat empty. Judith Fürst-Tomber of Hungary, one of the judges who yesterday was part of the new World Skating Federation announcement, has withdrawn from judging in this event, apparently, and we have to confirm she was pulled away by her federation. And I question, though, why there now isn't 10 judges, or a fill-in judge wasn't available to move into that 10th chair. Does that not compromise it a little bit? What do you think?
Well, it does change. The other pool had 10 judges, 7 votes counted. Now we're down to 9 judges in this pool, 7 judges counting.
I suppose the fact that they are only judging one pool might not make that much of a difference, but again, we have an empty chair beside one of the judging computers on that side. ISU President Ottavio Cinquanta is here. And on the ice is Fumie Suguri of Japan. Kind of an up and down season until the Four Continents Championship.
Fumie won the Four Continents, but then came 6 out of 6 skaters at the Grand Prix final. Right off the top, her speed is evident. She has a beautiful flow across the ice. Important first jump. It's her triple Lutz. Very nice. Triple Lutz double toe. Her speed is so impressive. Of turns and edges. Difficult jump for Fumie. Gives her the most trouble. Triple loop. Yes. Second triple Lutz. Back camel, she pushes onto a forward inside edge. Takes more control. You have to have perfect balance on your blade to do that. Triples are getting away from her. She popped a triple toe there, a triple Salchow, fighting back with her double axel. And driving through the end of this performance. Look at the speed on her footwork. Absolutely delightful.
She did have some errors. Beautiful finish. Presentation mark obviously will be very high. Crowd loves her. I think, though, she must be feeling very fortunate she's in the lighter pool here.
Well, the way the judges are judging, as I said earlier, it's all about the jump. Whether her fine skating will be rewarded in the mark, you are right. She's lucky she's in the easier flight. But even with a couple of glitches on the triple jump, her skating and the way she uses the music and covers the ice, difficult little turns that just float across the ice because she has such great technique. The run of her blade across the ice is effortless, and the way she uses the music just brings the audience right into what she's doing. The jumps don't matter when you're skating like that for the audience.
Yeah, she won a bronze medal last year in her homeland in Nagano, Japan, very similar to the Takeshi Honda story in the men's ranks.
Nice triple Lutz, double toe. She did a second triple Lutz later in the program. You can see a nice tight position with her feet in the air. Here, this triple toe was supposed to be. She just didn't get up straight. She was leaning forward. Mental errors there for Fumie, and another one on her triple Salchow, which she opened up. You can see the position in the flying camel. Now watch her foot on the ice. She's on a back outside. She pushes over onto a forward inside. You could see it change there, but is able to keep the speed because her balance is just in the perfect place on the blade. Her control allows her to be able to do that, and that makes the spin that much more difficult.
Here come the marks. 7 of 9, remember, that one judge, and now we've really seen the first conflict of interest or rift or defection between this new group that has been formed, the World Skating Federation, with this judge now walking away from this panel, and Ottavio Cinquanta. We will talk with him in our show tonight about the state of skating.
Again, the marks should not be able to vary from 5.1 to 5.7 for technical merit. Depending on which judges are chosen, can hurt or help Fumie. Artistic marks, though, much better.
Jennifer Robinson is next at the 2003 Worlds. Ice Center women's qualifying continuing in Washington at the Worlds. Qualifying Group B already. Michelle Kwan winning earlier today. Her A group. Right now, Fumie Suguri is the leader in this group, and Jennifer Robinson with a glorious chance here to put her name certainly in the top 5 before the short program.
Top 3 is well within Jennifer's grasp here. Yoshia Onda, sitting in 3rd right now, did not land a triple Lutz in her program. Jennifer has 2 planned. And she will open here with her triple Lutz double toe combination. Very nice.
Good start.
Triple sow, triple loop, under-rotated on the 2nd jump. Fighting for the landing on her triple flip.
You mentioned fighting, Tracy. Every year at the Worlds, Jennifer has constantly had to fight back from being lower ranked after the qualifier. She can stay up in the standings. She may fight her way into her goal at the Worlds. She wants to be in the top 5.
And a top 3 finish in the qualifying round would put Jennifer in the final flight for the short program. It's quite an advantage if you can be in the last flight in the short. A 2nd triple Lutz. All of her difficult triples are behind her. She's looked very focused and composed. Now she needs to show some attack and finish strong. Final triple coming up. It's her easiest triple toe.
Well, what a way to start for Jennifer Robinson. Her best start ever at a World Championship. Yes, indeed. Only the stumble out of the combination. Throw her name certainly into the top 3, you would think, in her qualifier. Might she get to the final flight in the women's short program? Wouldn't that be huge for the 6-time Canadian champion?
She had the opportunity and she took it. It's great to see her deliver when the door was open for her. As I said at the top, a lot of her competitors have struggled in this flight, and many of the top competitors are in the other group. So a great opportunity. Jennifer took advantage of it. Michelle Lee, her coach up in Barrie, Ontario.
One of the oldest competitors in experience and years here. Her best finish at the Worlds, 8th place, 2000. She was 9th last year, had to bounce back for that.
There's her triple Lutz double toe combination, the beginning of her program. Her second triple Lutz towards the end was equally as strong. She went for a triple-triple combination, a very difficult one. Triple Salchow, triple loop. She did not have the speed on the first jump and therefore did not get the height and rotation she needed on the second jump. Watch this, her triple flip, and look at the landing of the jump. Okay, she landed it on one foot, but it was under-rotated. So she will not be given full credit for the triple flip. All the other jumps she will be given credit for. She did do the triple loop later in the program. A nice attempt at that, and she will be given credit for 5 clean triple jumps.
Victoria Volchkova and Yoshia Onda currently sitting 2nd and 3rd behind Fumie Suguri. Will this performance be good enough to knock Volchkova or Onda out of their placement? She must do that in order to get to that final flight for the short program. Here come the marks for technical merit.
Oh, she's seen some marks. I think she likes them.
5.2 to 5.7. Indeed, this is her best start at a Worlds.
Technically, Volchkova had some better jumps, but did not have the artistry of Jennifer Robinson. Hey!
Wow, look at this. Second, technically in a tie for 3rd right now. Jennifer Robinson. What a start in Washington. Jen Robinson, Canada's champion. Well, we got it. And qualifying 2nd in her group. Fumie Suguri 1st, Victoria Volchkova 3rd. So Suguri in a tie for 1st, Robinson a tie for 3rd, Volchkova a tie right now for 5th. Yoshia Onda in that qualifying Group B. Again, luck of the draw playing into it. That other qualifying group with the 3 Americans. Michelle Kwan leading qualifying Group A. And here is Debbie Wilkes with Jennifer Robinson.
Jen, how did that one rank?
That one was awesome. That was so awesome. It ranked right up there. I had really good energy and confidence coming to this program. We've trained really hard, and I still had a little bit of, we call it energy. We don't like to call it nerves too much, but had a little bit of energy out there and got the job done. A little mishap on the triple sow, triple loop, but I think that's a personal best performance for me overall.
What happened on the combination?
I thought I had it. It just, when I landed the sow and was going back up for the triple loop, it kind of went off the middle of my blade instead of going off the toe, which would help the rotation, obviously. So that's pretty much, I think, technically what happened on that.
How does it set you up for the short program?
This is great. You know, I don't know. It's just great. I think I'm going to be in the last group so far, and this is just great. I don't know. It's great.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Well, it was great because you skated great, Jennifer Robinson. You are in the final flight for the short program. Jumping for joy in Washington, and when we come back, we will sit down with the president of the governing body of the International Skating Union, Octavio Cinquanta, after this.
2003 World Figure Skating Championships. Since the Salt Lake City Olympics, the International Skating Union and its president, Octavio Cinquanta, have been barraged with criticism about the sport's integrity and its direction. Yesterday, with the announcement of the newly formed rival association, the World Skating Federation, challenges to the ISU just deepened. Earlier today, Rod sat down with Mr. Cinquanta to discuss this latest development.
What is your position on the World Skating Federation, this group that is not happy with the situation and has a lot of backing from some people who helped make this sport what it is. Some very big stars are involved.
I thank you for your double definition. You say first federation, then group. For me, at the moment, is an initiative, it's a group, because I have not seen at the moment, because we have been informed 2 days ago.
You haven't talked to them?
No. I personally learned the existence of this initiative, group, as you call, federation, they call, in the morning of the presentation. So I have not seen a statue. I do not know who formed this group, because who are the members? Probably individuals.
But they are very dissatisfied with the state of these skaters. They're unhappy with what happened in Salt Lake City. They're unhappy with the judging system. They're unhappy with the 6.0 that's going to be removed. They feel that there are judges who were suspended only for a brief period of time after they were caught cheating, and they want zero tolerance. Have you ever thought about zero tolerance for judges?
If you have somebody who can determine the zero tolerance and without doing mistake, I join you. But who can decide precisely in a perfect way on the basis of zero tolerance? Who decide? One person, two person, who?
Will you sit down and talk with the World Skating Federation? Because if there is this split federation, potentially this could become like racing or other sports where you have two rival leagues.
Well, psychologically, my response to sit down to speak with them is no. Why? Because we got a bit offended, you know, by the fact that this was, everything was prepared in the dark, you know. Also, this is the ISU Championships. This international federation exists since 1892. You know how many efforts we are doing to use our championships to promote something while criticizing the ISU. This is not something that they expected from these people.
We will have more from Ottavio Cinquanta tomorrow to talk about the state of skating. Debbie Wilkes will join me in the booth momentarily. The pairs free skate